What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And this podcast being brought to you by your friends at Draftkings. Okay, just got home from the UNLV game. Hell of an effort. Hell of a game. Great atmosphere. 42,000, the largest crowd ever to witness a UNLV football game. Credit Boise State. They just made more plays. And that game was pacing towards the over. It didn't get there. I thought the turnover at the end of the first half, the interception that led to a touchdown for Boise, was the difference in the game. Boise got the football back, and really an unfortunate holding penalty. I hate the fact that you watch these games and one referee, one call. It was a questionable holding call, but that's football these days, right? These calls are so questionable. Refereeing at every level is a major problem, and gambling is why. Gambling, the scrutiny that comes with this, because everybody's watching these games differently now. You guys wanted this. You wanted legalized sports gambling. So what comes with it is scrutiny and eyeballs and anger from people that can't figure out why calls are getting made. Because one call, even though there were 8 minutes left in the game, one call ended the game because that was a third down stop by UNLV. They could have gotten the ball back, could have gone down there and maybe scored a touchdown, 2-point conversion, go up by 3. UNLV then kicks a field goal. We go to overtime. The game goes over. Okay. That's how that didn't come through. Or UNLV wins the game outright and they win the game by 3. So, or even, 1 if they missed the 2-point. So Boise was the better team. There's no debate that. The turnover, UNLV has been tremendous with turnovers, averaged over 2 turnovers per game this season. They did not get a turnover last night. The one that came was UNLV. They got picked off. Boise made them pay for it, and they win the game. So for us, it was a 1-3 night for us. 0-2 in the Boise game. We get the hockey game right. We get the basketball game wrong. Memphis got killed up against Houston. Big win there. So a 1-3 day for us on a Saturday. Not the way we want to head into the weekend, but here we are onto a Saturday with still a chance to have a winning week, depending on how we do on Saturday and on Sunday. So, we're not putting ourselves in gigantic holes. We're not coming into the weekend with a gigantic, surplus here. It's kind of the same story as we go through the month of October. It's a very difficult month to bet. Books are very sharp. Numbers are right there. Hopefully today we have a good day on a Saturday. I've got 3 college football bets and 1 UFC 308 bet to give you guys for the day pay-per-view. Okay, it's pay-per-view during the day over in Abu Dhabi for UFC 308. Also, I will give you some more plays, picks, and thoughts on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. I have 3 college football plays official, but I'll have some other stuff that I'll give you guys as well if you guys want some extra action to go into the Saturday weekend with and fade or follow, whatever you want to do with it, coming up on Saturday. So we'll go over that 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Discord channel for us here with Betting Pros. The Daily Juice is being presented by Edge Boost. Have you guys heard of this site yet? Looking for a way to get cash back to load funds on your favorite sportsbook or daily fantasy site? The Daily Juice and Betting Pros has partnered with Edge Boost, the financial platform for smart bettors. Allows you to do just that. Here's how it works. You go to bettingpros.com/boost. Enter your information to sign up for their digital Visa debit card. Link your Edge cashback Visa card to any sportsbook, daily fantasy site, sweeps site, horse racing operator, iCasino, or land-based casino digital wallet. For a limited time, you will earn 0.5% cash back on all deposits with no limit. Some of the advantages that you'll get with Edge Boost: it allows you to instantly load and withdraw funds to and from your favorite platforms. No more waiting period when you're trying to transfer funds from one sportsbook to another to catch that line you had your eye on. Edge Boost pays you on every transaction just for using the card. Depending on how many times you withdraw and redeposit, you can earn thousands in cash back. There are no minimums or costs to maintain an account. Edge only makes money when you use the card, and they pass through a significant portion of as cash back. The card is backed by a no fee, no minimum, FDIC insured, dedicated betting bank account, meaning no frozen accounts or transaction reviews, just a safe place for which to deposit and withdraw your money. Sign up today. bettingpros.com/boost and lock in your 0.5% cash back offer for a limited time. That's bettingpros.com/boost. Sign up today. Okay. That pesky cough just won't go away. So let's get into it here with 3 college football bets. Let's start with LSU and Texas A&M. This number has flipped. Initially, we saw a favorite number come up with LSU here, and it has now flipped to Texas A&M. This is somewhat surprising to me, to be quite honest, because I think LSU is the better football team, even though LSU is on the road today up against Texas A&M in the SEC. This is a huge game for a variety of reasons. Number was as high as -3 for A&M. It's down to -1 for Texas A&M. I love LSU's offense up against this Texas A&M defense, and I think we have a chance for LSU to do some pretty cool things here. This is a big game in the SEC. It's kind of like one of those like sneaky games in the SEC where people are talking about everything else, the Alabamas, the Texas against Vanderbilt. Their eyes are probably should be on this game with 2 ranked teams going at it, with number 8 LSU on the road against top 20 Texas A&M. College Station, tough place to play. This has been a historic rivalry over the years. But A&M this season is 3-4 ATS. Texas A&M is 2-5. They are 1-3 ATS at home. LSU is 1-2 on the road, but they've covered their last 3 games, including going to Arkansas last week and winning by 24 points as 3-point favorites. They were home dogs to Ole Miss. They won by 3. They were laying 21 at home against Southern Alabama. They won by 32. They are undefeated in the SEC at the moment, but the same thing can be said for Texas A&M. They did not cover on the road at Mississippi State last week. They're laying 21. They won by 10, maybe a look-ahead spot. They were at home against Missouri. They laid 2.5. They won by 31. They played Arkansas in Texas and in Jerry's World. They were laying 6.5. They won by 4. And at home against Bowling Green, they're laying 21. They won by 6. A&M is 1-3 over the last 4 games. They did beat Florida on the road. They opened the year with a loss to Notre Dame at home. I don't think the Irish are very good, but that was a long time ago here. I just think this offense for LSU is going to be the difference. I think LSU will make more plays here in the passing attack, and I know A&M's got a quarterback that they like a lot, and this should be a high-scoring game. This should be kind of a back-and-forth type of action, but I like this offense. I like what LSU has looked like with Garrett Nussmeier being the signal caller, and I think there's just a little bit too much talent in LSU. I think LSU goes down there. They win the game outright. I'll take the point just in case. +1 for LSU for 1.1 units. Second bet is Michigan State up against Michigan. There are some crazy numbers involving Michigan State and Michigan. Did you know that Michigan State is 13-3 ATS over the last 16 meetings? This number has been coming down, down, down. It was high as 5.5 for this one in a big rivalry game. We have a quarterback change coming up for Michigan here. This number opened up at 5.5. It's down to 4 at most places. Super Bowl here in Vegas already is at 3.5. I think this number keeps coming down all the way to 3. I think 3 is the right number here for Michigan State and Michigan. And I know Michigan's at home. And I know you could say, well, Matt, look at the more talented team is Michigan. But look, it's at night. I don't know. I mean, it's been a disaster for Michigan on the road. Last week, we were on them up against Illinois, and they lost. Didn't happen. Michigan State's got a chance to have a big rivalry win here. They beat Iowa. Big confidence boost there. The Michigan State Spartans have shown me something over the last couple of weeks. They've shown signs of improvement, and Michigan's gone the exact opposite way. Michigan just looks like a team that doesn't really know what direction they want to go in the wake of John Harbaugh or John Harbaugh leaving, Jim Harbaugh leaving. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. Sorry, I was confused. Jim and John. Jim Harbaugh leaving. I like the dog, even though the dog's on the road. I like the dog. Michigan State on the road 2-0-1 this year against the spread. Michigan's 1-4 at home this year. They're 1-6 overall. Give me Michigan State plus the 4. Want a 3. I want 4. Michigan State +4 for 1.1 units. And the third bet for me here is Wisconsin and Penn State. Look, Penn State has had a very difficult time this season against the spread. They're coming off a bye. This is a number in which we have seen James Franklin be dominant in as a favorite from 6 to 17 points. They're unbelievable. I mean, just completely one of the best teams to bet on in college football until they go play Wisconsin on the road. Wisconsin's 10-3 as a home dog. That's the best number over the last 10 years of anybody in college football. When Jump Around gets going, when that stadium's rocking, man alive, is it tough to play Wisconsin. And defensively, Wisconsin has been tremendous. I mean, they have been absolutely tremendous defensively. We know that Penn State has to run the ball to be successful, and Wisconsin's run defense has been good enough. I mean, good enough. It hasn't been great. They get them over about 135 yards per game. It's one of the worst in the Big Ten, but they've been better defensively. They've been stingy defensively. Wisconsin's a team that I think is going to pose a lot of problems for Penn State, even coming off of the bye, because Penn State's got Ohio State next week. They've got a massive look-ahead spot here. This is just, you can't force it. You can't, not see it go, man, Penn State's got a ton. They're 2-4 ATS on the year. They're 1-1 on the road. Wisconsin's 1-3 at home, but the Purdue cover was impressive by 46 points. They won and covered at Rutgers. They won and covered at Northwestern. I mean, defensively, you look at just what they've been able to accomplish. Defensively, they've been great. The Wisconsin defense has given up 3, 7, and 6 over the last 3 weeks. That is a grand total of 16 points in 3 weeks for this Wisconsin defense. Penn State has been scoring a little bit. They scored 33 points, up against USC. UCLA, they only gave up 11 points, scored 27 against Illinois, 21-7. Their last 3 opponents, 2 of which are at home, 1 on the road. I mean, they've given up 30, 11, and 7. This game screams an under, okay? I don't blame you. Want to come in, I will be on the under personally, under 47 in this game, 47.5. But I'm taking the points. Wisconsin's just too good at home as a home dog here. Penn State's got a look-ahead spot to Ohio State next week. Penn State wins, but kind of like the USC game, I think they just squeak by here. I don't think that they go in there and blow the doors off Wisconsin on the road against USC. They had to come back. I know you can say, well, that was on the road, and they did win the game. But on the road against USC, they did not cover. They did cover against West Virginia, but this is the third true road game, 1-1 for Penn State, and that West Virginia win seems like a long time ago for the Nittany Lions. I'm going dog, Bucky, at home, at night, plus 6.5 for 1.1 units. So for the college football plays, LSU +1, Michigan State +4, Wisconsin +6.5, all for 1.1 units. One bet for UFC 308, and it's a 2-leg moneyline parlay. I will completely be transparent. This bet was given to me from one of our guests on the Bostonian versus the Book, a guy that I talk a lot of UFC with, and he's the one who came up with it, and I like it a lot. It's a 2-leg moneyline parlay for the co-main and the main. The co-main, or the main, is Ilia Topuria up against Max Holloway, who is moving down to 145 at 5'11". He's fighting a stockier, quicker fighter in Ilia Topuria, who is the champion of the featherweight division. And I find it very difficult over a 5-round fight to see Max Holloway take this away. I know Max has been great. 3 straight wins for him. The winner, Justin Gaethje, was tremendous. But you got a Topuria who's 15-0, a win over Alexander Volkanovski in his last fight, which was simply tremendous. Knocked out Volkanovski in the second round. Topuria is fast, and I mean fast. He has taken down some really good competition here in this division, and I think Max looks more comfortable at 155 than he does 145. I like Topuria to win, and I'm going to parlay that with the co-main. Look, the reason why they're in Abu Dhabi is because of Kazmat Chimaev. It's not because of the Spaniard. It's not because of Topuria, even though that's the belt fight. It's because of Robert Whittaker up against Kazmat Chimaev. Chimaev is 13-0. Chimaev just has beaten Usman, Hollins, Burns, running through the division. Whittaker is on the tail end. Okay, this is a 3-round fight. This fight probably goes the distance, but Chimaev is such a difficult guy to fight. It's such a difficult fighter to stop. Never been stopped in the octagon. He almost submitted Kamaru Usman and said he won it by decision in his last fight. This is a huge moment. A lot of eyeballs on him. A lot of people in Abu Dhabi, around the world, going to watch Chimaev as he takes a step up in competition again. Usman, Whitaker, Holland, Burns. These are guys who are just household names in the division, in the middleweight division. Chimaev money line, parlayed with Topuria money line, is a minus 102 bet. We'll put 1 unit down on that for UFC 308. Okay, so 3 bets in college football, 1 bet in the UFC for UFC 308, LSU +1, Michigan State +4, Wisconsin +6.5, Topuria Chimaev moneyline parlay at minus 102 in the co-main and the main of UFC 308. Talk to you on the Discord channel at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time for more talk on the college football card coming up today. I'll give you a couple other picks and plays that I like coming up here for today. But until then, my name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast presented by DraftKings.